Hi there, Libra. Thank you for joining me for your weekly forecast for week commencing the 2nd of May. This week begins with some of the enervating energy which affected all of us last month starting to recede somewhat. I still feel that you need to be very precise when it comes to what you will agree or not agree to doing. There is a general sense with you at the moment that other people can seize on your utterances and assume that you're essentially going to pick up the slack and be so self-sacrificing, but in a way which actually may not be so good for you. This is not a great time to look at things in just a surface sense. You need to probe beneath. And if you're prepared to do this, your sense of awareness can grow enormously this week. In fact, by the end of it, you may learn something about yourself which wasn't obvious at the start of the week, simply by thinking very carefully about your deepest motivations, how life operates, and how the mechanizations that go on between different people affect you. Now, Venus, your ruler, is also moved, and that on the first day of this week is starting to get a greater grip in the part of your scope that's to do with your resources. Of course, you have the Sun and Mercury here, and Mercury's tracking backwards. So some care is required if you're trying to raise funds, pay off debts, look to raise the finance on a property matter, or you're thinking about pensions and investments. Don't necessarily believe the very first thing you're told. You may find that doing some research behind the scenes can be highly revealing as the Sun forges an awesome angle with Jupiter. Jupiter is also going through the last of its retrograde period this week, and it's going to enter your sign in September on the 12th, and that's going to be a time when you can really start to launch forwards in a much newer and renewed way in terms of your individualism. But I think this week does require you to be conscious of the interactions you have with others, the things you share, the things that are important at a more psychological level. You can't really just ignore those things. They are very important. But with Saturn continuing to T-square up with Neptune and also Jupiter, this could be a time when your thinking does need to be transformed in some way, and you can't be too rigid about some of the ideas that you've been taught in the past. It is a kind of need to be strong-willed and set your boundaries, but at the same time be a little bit open and flexible to possibilities. But if people have been taking you for granted, you're going to want to evaluate the real benefits you gain from this if there is a bigger picture to consider. It's been a real pleasure being with you. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye for now.